And I believe we are live. Welcome, everybody, to episode 7. We're getting right along with this thing with the three loose lug nuts. I'm Danny and Gray, and I'm here with.
Cleveland Card Connection.
And high octane cards.
And we're back again with our weekly recap of the races that took place over the weekend. We had some decent races. I mean, I guess off the last 2 weeks where we had all the crazy stuff that had been happening, in each series. It was more just racing this week. We didn't have a lot
Yeah,
of cautions. Not really much happening other than just racing.
this
But
would have
we'll
been a
dive
bad
into all that.
race for somebody new in the sport to watch.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah,
would have instantly changed the channel type deal, no
I,
doubt.
I just I just watched the Xfinity race this morning. I took today off work, but I watched the Xfinity race this morning. Um, and yeah, it was pretty much just your two your two into stage cautions, and then that debris that came off of Gregson's car, and that was it.
No
Yep.
cautions. I was like, man, you don't get races that often where you're going to have flag to flag. And if it was the old days, you wouldn't have had anything because, the stage breaks, of course, but those
Hmm.
don't count.
And there was
But
no competition caution.
Which
nope.
I like. No, I like
Yeah.
no competition cautions. And
Yeah.
here's my take on the no competition cautions. I don't know if you guys have Sirius XM and listen to any of the shows on there, but
I don't
occasionally I
either.
listen to I listen to Speedway with Dave Moody sometimes in the afternoons, and he's been really adamant over the last couple years about the competition caution, saying that okay, we have to have these because these guys don't have any track time, et cetera, et cetera. But then on the flip side of the coin, he turns around and says, well, these are the best drivers in the world, blah, blah, blah. Well, if they're the best drivers, they don't need that competition caution because they should know what the cars are going to do based on their setups.
Well, here's the
I
deal. They've
think
already brought back practice. What more
Yeah,
do
yeah,
they
yeah. But
need?
I'm just saying from the last couple of years, I'm
Right,
happy
right.
they
Yeah.
brought back practice. I'm very excited about that because I did not like the competition cautions.
yeah, I
No.
think I think one of the he hasn't he won a race and he had a I think top 5 Sunday, but I think the person practice is hurting the most is Larson. Because it's giving everybody else more track time.
Yeah.
To
Well,
learn the track a lot quicker, get used to it when he was able to adapt in the race so quickly.
yep. And I'll agree, even though I'm a Larson fan, because you're 100% right. I mean, it was good to see that he had a good return run this week. Uh, and speaking of a great weekend, yeah, I did want to bring that up. How did your wife do in her season opener there,
Oh, very
Octane?
good, very good. Qualified sixth, finished 11th, ran most of the race in the top 10, had kind of a late race spin that got her back to 11th. So that was very, very good. So the new engine, new clutch, and just enthusiasm and experience paid dividends. So she was very, very excited about that. So, and she got her fastest time also because they have that race monitor app that everybody uses
Yep.
that tracks your speeds and everything. And she got her fastest time that she's raced so far. So
Nice.
Nice.
thank you.
You
There
have a
is
good
very
turnout. They have a good
Well, I'll have
turnout.
to
um
keep. I'm on Race Monitor all the time looking at
mhm,
different races, so I'll have to look
mhm.
on there then.
um the crowd was down a little bit because they held it on a Sunday. It was supposed to be on Saturday night, but they held it on Sunday, so a little less of a turnout in terms of fans. But competitors, her class had about 40 cars show up.
Wow.
Well, you get into talks with her because we want to have her on the show one week. I'm
Well,
serious. I mean,
oh, I know,
we,
I know. It might happen sometime. She's not comfortable on camera, so.
I understand.
She
Hey,
could
we
don't
got
even have to.
she.
She could be a
I know.
blank screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know. I know.
there's no excuse. So
I mean, I blank screen a lot, so
there you go. I mean,
right.
it'd be cool. Even
Shaw,
as
you
far fetched. Go ahead.
sorry, Shaw must have missed the part last week where he didn't miss the part where I was dogging on Truex the whole week, but he must have missed the part where I actually picked him to win at the end of the show.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at chat. What's up though, Shaw and Droppy Diesel? Droopy Diesel. I think that's Droopy, right?
Yeah, Droopy
Dro-
Diesel.
Droopy Diesel. Yeah, we've never seen him here before, so welcome, and also welcome everybody that is watching. But yeah, Shaw, he actually picked him to win, so
that's just part of my humor. I have to draw up to the shock of picking Truex.
Well, like last week, my shock, I got him posted up behind me. You know, and back to what you said, what was it last week or week before? You're like, I'm so competitive on my picks. Now I don't pull for who I like. Well, yeah, Larson's running up like what, fifth, fourth, whatever. That was cool. But I was sitting there like, where's Hamlin? Where's Truex? Where's this? Where's Kyle?
Yeah. I was like, where's all these stupid JGR cars? And then I was like, oh man, I knew I should pick Christopher Bell.
It pains me on DraftKings to hit the Chase Elliott button on road courses. It hurts a lot. So
right.
Did you do okay this weekend?
Well, I didn't do DraftKings this weekend. I was just I don't do it every week. It's just one of those things I kind of like. I kind of do the first 3 or 4 races and then I forget about it. Like this Sunday we were at the track, so it wasn't on my mind, and I was just like, I'll get it next week. So
yeah, I think during COVID, because I was so bored, I did it almost every week. And then last year I did it every few weeks. And then if I won some money, it just gave me some extra weeks to play with.
That's kind of how I do it.
I never mess with that stuff.
I actually won $25, so I should have the next couple weeks covered.
So here's my thing. I never mess with stuff like that on like just taking a risk because I never do good. But then Roger Riggs will tell you I can win stuff left and right because he's been at racetracks with me and they'll call my ticket number and all these and at events. But like I've bought a lottery ticket, like $1, $2 scratch off, and I go back and I win my $2 and I'll quit. So when I do like that, I just feel like I'm wasting my time because I'm not going to win. So
well, you already anticipated losing $2. Why not just turn it in for another ticket?
I guess whatever. But my dad was terrible with that. He won like $300 on a scratch off and went back and blew it all and walked away with nothing. My mom can vouch for it. She said, "You're an idiot."
It's different. It's not like it's $2.
Right. Catching up on chat. What's up, Outlaw? And then Shaw says at this weekend, let's see. And this weekend is another one to have to look at him talking about Truex. Roger's in the house saying, yes, Truex ran good, but his pick came in second, talking about Harvick. So yeah, he did. And Nick wants me to talk about the April Fool's Day TTM. All right, let's talk about it for 1 second, then move forward. I had to pull something. So my deal with that was, what can I do to make everybody believe this? Of course, I had to act it up that I got it. Well, I had found me an old TTM request envelope that I never sent off. So I just kind of folded it in half 3 or 4 times, make it look like it'd been roughed up through the mail, and then wrote TTM 4122. Well, it worked out that I had another TTM that actually came in. And I'm like, daggone, who can I get that's really hard to get, but basically unbelievable that you would get? And I'm like, Gordon. I'll pull it off and I'll just put 2 random ones from my collection and put them in there and then just act it up. So a lot of people obviously thought it was real and they were going along with it, but I had my few that was like April Fools. One of them being here tonight, Josh, he knows me well enough. He's like, this is April Fools, whatever. And then then I get on the phone with Josh on FaceTime one day and he's like, well, while we're on it, that Gordon TTM, was that real or fake? I'm like, what are you second guessing? He's like, well, I can't remember because I remember you said you was going to send to Fox. So I kind of had him leading on too. So it was a good little fun joke, but I made it pinned in the comments that it was April Fool's. So I got a few.
I don't know what I did to Mike to make him upset, but
yeah, well, Danny Rogers says you have a horseshoe tied to you. So
let's see. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been to Millbridge before and sat there and won a kid's Hans device that was valued at $600 one time and didn't even know the first thing about them because I was just there hanging out. And I'm like, what do I do with this? And I think I still have it somewhere out there in my storage building. I thought about just giving it to a kid that might have needed it, but I never found anybody and it's probably expired. But, yeah, no trade clause? He must be something about you trading with him. He wants to make a trade.
I don't know. He's been talking about trade all the. I don't know. We can never
Y'all
work
are worse
anything
than
out.
the NFL or the MLB. Let's say the MLB for making this deal happen. Oh man. Well, all right. Well, we got some racing to talk. We could bull crap around all night. While I've got 7 folks here, I do want to make this known. Going in, now this is that you need to pay attention for the picks. It's not happening now, but it will happen. At week 18, we're trying to give you guys something, and this is courteous of Outlaw here. He said not to mention it, but I think he deserves the mention, and I think Josh and Octane will agree. He stepped forward and leading from week 18 to week 36 in the season, you guys need to show up and make your picks, and I'll discuss that as it gets closer. But reason I say you need to make your picks is because whoever has the most points, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys, I'm going to withdraw my name at that point because we would already played. If y'all want to do it, y'all can do it, but I want to withdraw. I mean, I can make a pick, but I don't feel right doing that. But you'll have a chance at a 2022 Donruss Hobby Box. He stepped up and literally sent me the money and said, grab one. And at the end of the season, whoever has the most points from week 18 to 36 will get a free hobby box. And he said there's only one clause that I open it up here on the channel so I can have content. And I'm like, I mean, I could send it out, but he's like, no, I want it opened up so we can all see together what that person got in case they don't make videos, you know. So that'll be really, really interesting. We'll discuss that more once it gets closer. I got to come up with the rules. I definitely know that we won't be picking the same person because you can't pick the same person, dude. That's just stupid. But we'll figure all that out when it gets closer. But we're also
It'll
doing
have
one.
to be it'll have to be like the first one we see or something.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I got an idea behind that, Danny, and we'll talk about it later. So
Yeah, definitely. We'll figure it out. And we've got 10 weeks to do it. So I think that's plenty of time. But we're also doing one between us 3. So now the competitive has stepped up between me, Josh, and Octane, which we already knew about this last week. So our points actually do count for something. So one of us will walk away with a free hobby box too. So I can't stress enough. Thanks to Outlaw for doing that. He might hate me now for announcing
Are we going
that.
the whole year? We're doing the whole year, right?
No, we're stopping at 18 because we'll
I just don't.
reset.
I don't know.
We'll
I don't
stop
get
at
why.
18. We'll stop at 18 because it's just
we can't carry our points into the next one.
right. We'll just stop at 18. That's what he wanted. So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And then we can reset it. So, what's the points now for the 3? I guess I'll go ahead and we can say that.
Bull crap is what it is.
Yeah. Josh is having a rough time right now. I'm in the lead with 40 points. I had 8 yesterday, and I'm averaging 8 to 10 points a week since we started this in week 3. The only bad week I've had so far is week 4. Octane is in second with 29 points, and then Josh with 24. So, I mean, there's still time. You've got, 10 more weeks? So that could easily be flipped and Josh be in the lead before it's over with. You never know. If I have bad picks or you just never know. So, but we'll talk more about that once it gets closer. All right. Really quick, I did want to let Roger know something. I don't know if he knew about it yet, but Peyton Sellers is going to be running the SRX. They announced him this week for South Boston. So that should be really, really interesting. I think the field's set with him.
Aren't you a Burt Myers guy though?
Yeah, I'm a Burt Myers guy. He's more modified though, not the late model type. But it's cool to see Peyton get to run up there because I think that's his full-time track anyways with the late models. He usually dominates up there. So we'll see how that happens. But I think that's the entire field for that because all the names that I mentioned the other week, they said there was one more name to be announced, and that's it. So it'll be a decent little field, I think. All right. Xfinity pole winner. Imagine Ty Gibbs again. The kid's on fire, right? And then he won the race. That's just. And how about though you had Ty Gibbs in first, and then John Hunter starting second, and that's the way they finished. What do y'all think about the finish, though? We're gonna jump ahead straight to that. We'll talk about the other, but what's y'all's take on how that panned out? Is that short track racing or is that dirty moving the guy up the track type deal?
I don't have a problem with him moving him up the track, but I have a problem with him going in deep and literally door slamming him out of the groove and teammate.
I kind of think it's a 50-50 thing that it is short track racing, because there's no way Ty tries this move at like Charlotte or Texas. But at the same
Well,
time,
maybe, who knows?
yeah, well, yeah, but you know, most drivers aren't going to do that at a higher speed track. And at the same time, yeah, it was a little bit, I don't want to say uncalled for, because Nemechek did pass him 100% clean, I felt, in that late stage. Now, earlier in the race, yeah, they did kind of bump back and forth on a couple of exchanges. But that last one, yeah, Nemechek passed him clean, and then Ty just kind of roughed him up a little bit. But it's kind of like they said, reminiscent of when, who was it, Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards, I think, in the Xfinity race about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't have, like I said, I don't have a problem with him putting the bumper to him and getting him a little loose to get by him. But, you know, he put the bumper to him, got him loose in one of the ends of the track, and then was able to get up side by side. And then he just does not, it seems like he didn't even hit his brakes. He just used him as his brake.
He didn't.
And that I'm not, I don't agree with it. I mean, if it was my driver, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. But I mean, I didn't have any skin in the game on either of that. The only thing I could really go by is that they're teammates, and it doesn't look good for Ty because, you know, he is his Gibbs is his last name. So,
but it's almost like, you know, that's his, you just said it, Gibbs. That's his last name. He can get by with it, so to speak. I mean, that's maybe my opinion for my own, but Nemechek knows who his boss is, and that had been another teammate, maybe some fireworks. I mean, I don't know. I agree. Octane basically said what I was going to say. They were teammates. He passed him cleanly. I think it's fine to use the bumper, but as far as like, you know, even Josh said, they basically summed up everything I was going to say. Just going in there so hard and just moving the guy completely out of the groove, pushing him up, and then you know that you're going to clear it to the checker and not even have a chance. I would love to have seen them door banging Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch style to the line. That would have been a whole lot heck of fun than the way it finished. But
see, I think just the way Gibbs went about it was, if Gibbs did not do that, they're guaranteed a team finish 1-2. Now he does that. They're at that point, they're not guaranteed 1-2 because he could have got up into the wall. He could have spun himself out doing it. Like, I mean, from a team owner perspective, I'd be pretty mad, but you can't because he's your grandson.
Well, everybody pause, stop. Let's take care of it. What's up, Jamie?
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Got to get it in there. Don't want him to keep spamming the chat. But yeah, you're totally right. But here's the deal. I liked the reference that I think it was Suarez said. This kid's 19 years old. What would you do? I mean, he is young. He's still got a lot to learn. But, I mean, obviously he is a good driver. We all see that. But sometimes, I mean, I just think that was a stupid move on your teammate. I mean,
can we drop the God thing? Like, you literally just dump the crap out of your teammate. And I just would
I agree there.
Like, come on, dude, just knock it off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very religious. Josh knows that, but we won't talk religion here. But I totally agree with you there. And who knows how, I'm not one to judge versus what Ty Gibbs does in his life outside of the track versus what I do or you do or anybody. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we get it. You're Gibbs' grandson, but I totally agree.
Yeah, especially after that win. Like, come on.
Well, you mentioned teenager.
You chimed in.
You mentioned Ty Gibbs being 19. What about Sam Mayer at 18 in position 3, winning that Dash for Cash bonus?
Right, I had that on the agenda. That was really awesome seeing that.
I
And
think
now
they
he's
should
got it
just give that thing to a junior motorsports car, no matter like just write the check to JRM and call it
right.
a day.
Well, it should be interesting going into Martinsville next week. Ty Gibbs, Mayer, Allmendinger, and Herbst. And how about Ryan Sieg? You know, we talk about him a lot, but what a run that group is really having. And they almost had a chance for Dash for Cash next week.
Their car seems pretty dang good and balanced at every track so far. Every type of track that they've
Yeah.
gone to, they've been competitive.
Yep. And that guy, that Parker Retzloff, or however you say his last name, he come over from iRace and he's finished top 10. I had that
Yeah.
wrote down. That's pretty good. He's had two pretty good runs. I don't know exactly where he finished at Coda, but it seemed like he was in the teens, I think, for a first timer.
Yeah, and they kept having pit stop problems because the pit crew wasn't.
It was a throw together pit crew.
Yeah.
From what they said. But that's two of the three Sieg cars in the top 10.
Yeah. You got the top 5 over there. How was that? Because I had it wrote
Yeah.
down, but I don't want to.
Yeah, Gibbs was first, of course. Gibbs was first, Nemechek second, Mayer third. Allmendinger was fourth, and Riley Herbst was fifth. So not a bad top 5 there.
Right.
And really no surprises in the top 10 other than, you mentioned Parker Retzlaff there in 10th place. Brandon Brown was 8th, so that's a good run for him.
Right. They've been carrying over that sponsor. What was their sponsor this week? I can't remember, but it wasn't they didn't go sponsorless, I don't think.
What's it say here? It says Jabs Construction on here, which is one that he's had on and off the car the last few years.
Right.
I think I don't know if I still don't know how good of a driver he is, but I feel like Herbst is starting to turn the corner a little bit. I almost feel like he's like a Brandon Jones type, where he might get one of those surprise wins, maybe 2, but just be kind of one of those quiet guys in the top 10.
Oh yeah. What's our points looking like? I'm drafting Octane to do all the hard work again.
Right now, and this is not with playoffs because Racing Reference doesn't do the playoff standings for the Xfinity Series like they do on the Cup side. Allmendinger has 303 points right now. He is your leader. Ty Gibbs is second, 20 points off. He's actually in a tie for second with Noah Gragson. Third is Josh Berry. Fourth is Josh Berry. I'll get it out here in a minute. And fifth is Justin Allgaier. So that's the top 5. They do take the top 12 in the playoff. So 6 through 12 are as follows: Mayer, Jones, Hemrick, Austin Hill, Sieg, Herbst, and Creed. Brandon Brown actually is tied with Sheldon Creed, but Creed has the higher finish between the two.
Yeah, things are starting to kind of line up. That was Ty Gibbs' 3rd win on the year. We obviously know he's going to be a threat. I would say definitely the entire season and probably going into the playoffs. But there's some decent names.
I don't know why it shocks me every week, but I'm impressed with the Xfinity lineup. I really am impressed with how deep that goes. With some
I think it's going to be the most competitive of the 3 titles all year, just like you say, the depth of it, because there's not one. You throw out Ty Gibbs. Let's just take Ty Gibbs out of the mix. There's not one driver that's going to be head and shoulders above the rest of the competition.
Yeah. I wonder, I don't know, maybe I'm completely wrong about this, but with the new next gen, if we're getting more like spotlight on those Xfinity cars, does that make any sense? Even I'm probably just rambling at something stupid, but it seems like since the next gen is just better. I don't know.
Are you saying maybe some of the fan base has turned away from the next gen car and is looking more at Xfinity, or the teams maybe are looking more at Xfinity because that's what they know more of in terms of technology and such?
Yeah, maybe I'm right. I don't know.
It's like Roger at the flip phone. he replaced his flip phone with another flip phone. Once you're set in your ways, you're in your ways. Some people might. I mean, honestly.
Right. What's up, Phenomenal Pikachu? Never saw you here on the
Paranormal.
Yeah, paranormal. I'm like my vision is not good tonight. I'll be honest. Could be my sugar issues. I didn't really eat much today. I'm not making up excuses, but seriously. He says he's new here. There we go. Could be also that glare that I'm having. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling on something stupid, but it just seems like I don't know. I've been more excited at watching the Xfinity series than I have the Cup. I guess maybe it's just the new car. Boy, y'all might can hear my son in the background.
The new car has grown on me a lot. So
Yeah, it
I'm
has, and it's gotten better each week, definitely.
yeah. I mean, they didn't have no mention of tire issues this week. So
No,
Or lug nuts.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bubba had the one.
yeah,
He thought it was loose.
Hmm.
That would have been a good one that sucked if that wheel came off. He would have
again.
lost someone else for another 4 weeks.
Geez, it's almost like we got to scramble to find somebody. We're running out of guys for sure. But other than that, I mean, you know, you had the wild finish going into Martinsville next week. Speaking of Martinsville, if you guys are here, honestly, if you're out and about, I will be down there. The infamous Roger Riggs will be out and about, so look for him down there. He'll
Falling.
probably be signing books all weekend.
Roly-polying around.
Yeah. When you see the Beavis and Butthead photos come out, you'll know who he is. He's the Butthead for showing Junior his butt. But yeah, we'll be down there, and then we'll be in Bristol the next week. So pretty exciting coming up here. So.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. We actually might leave Friday now, but it'll
Oh,
be
really?
it'll be like probably around 3 o'clock. We just don't feel like driving all day Saturday and then being up late. So we'll see.
Yeah. We got rain scheduled here for Thursday, so it's not going to be a surprise, honestly, guys, if they get to race the trucks. I think trucks is going to get moved to Friday from looking at the forecast because it's coming in, I think, late, and which would obviously run right into the nighttime race. So I could honestly see right now the writing on the wall that the trucks will run probably around 12-1-ish, and then you'll have your race, the Xfinity Friday night. So Roger
I was
still
going to say Martinsville in April just scream rain. So
Yeah, and in
No.
October.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you mentioned Martinsville, it's gonna come a pop-up shower, even if it's 0% chance of rain. Well, I've been up there in the rain, sleet, snow, and hail, everything, wind, hot, you know. So I've seen it all.
Well, there was
over here hating that.
there's tornadoes that just rolled through Richmond last week. So maybe I don't want you to get into one of those, but they had the tornadoes in Richmond, I guess, last week.
Well, yeah. Speaking of tornadoes, our town just celebrated. Well, it's not a celebration, but they had their I think it's the 24th anniversary since the '98 tornado that came through. So next year's 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. But here I'm trying to get to Mr. Riggs. He says, "Okay, I've been good. Hate those darn next gen cars, just like the COT. Sorry, Josh." We knew Roger's never. That's going back to the flip phone type deal. Roger likes his
I'm
flip
not
phone.
saying I like the way the COT flipped in the air, but I sure as heck love the way those things look. I'm sorry, I'm one of those people. I just love the way they looked.
The COT.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
love it.
wasn't a fan of them. I thought they were too
me neither.
boxy.
I liked them, man. The spoiler and the
That's the main
front
thing I hated.
valence, and I liked it all. It was cool.
Yeah, I never was a fan of the COT. Definitely wasn't a fan of their diecast either. That was complete trash. You might buy
People getting cars with broken wings all the time.
Yeah, I've glued 3 or 4 of those on. I've got a Gordon up there now that's glued on because it came broke. I was PO'd about that, but whatever. So I guess moving on, because we're ranked 731. We're doing good for 2 races. We'll have a lot to talk about next week with 3 races going on. Cup Series, we had Blaney on pole and Byron on the outside. Blaney took all of stage 1, led all the laps in stage 1. And there for the longest time, we're fast forward, and I thought we were going to have another caution free day, which we had Kurt Busch. What did they ever say with Kurt Busch? He had the issue.
They couldn't narrow it down to one thing because they just replaced everything.
Right.
They replaced all the electronics. They replaced the the sending unit. They replaced 2 of them actually, and they said we replaced it all. We don't know exactly which one it was.
It was almost like the ECU just had a mental meltdown.
Yeah, Metal Mike, we'll touch bases on that. He definitely killed his chances there. The final stage, he was running second. Goes into the pits.
That wasn't the crew's fault though. The
No.
jack malfunctioned.
Right. And then where did Logano wind up finishing? I didn't really look at the complete running order for that. After that,
17th. I was going to ask you guys what you thought about Gibbs guys trying that new pit stop strategy with all the guys going around the front of the car.
Yeah, that was very interesting, and it seemed like it was working for them there. Did they ever really say how much time it shaved off or anything? Because I'll tell you, we had my little nephew here, and he's 3, and him and Gray were just going boom, boom, boom everywhere, and I was trying to watch the race, and it was kind of tough. What'd they ever say about that?
I don't think they really had any comparisons. It was just kind of an experiment that they were trying this week. They may not do it going forward. They may, tweak it going forward. They just something that they wanted to try because now that NASCAR's allowing the guys on the front of the car to go over at a certain time, they're like, well, if we get all the guys over the wall at the same time, it may increase the stop. Plus, they're not running interference with the gas man.
Right. Yeah, I thought it worked out pretty decent. Definitely, it was worth a good experiment. What do you think, Josh? Did you have anything on it?
It's a pit stop, man. Just change the tires and put some fuel in it.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Then we had Brad. I had wrote down that he hit the wall. What was the deal on that? Did y'all ever? Because I literally was trying to watch it while they were doing. I don't ever understand what happened there either. Where did he wind up at? I think that was in the final stage. He was one of the cautions. Where Brad?
Yeah, he ended up finishing 13th. But I will tell you right now, anything that happened between lap 290 and 390, I had fallen asleep. So
what is this? This guy falls asleep Saturday.
I fell asleep during the Xfinity race.
I guess that goes back to the old saying, though. It's not much action going on, especially with Xfinity. I mean, that was just wall to wall racing.
I was down at the track for 9 hours. So
I can understand. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kidding around.
Oh, I know you are.
Then we had Cindric. Now the 42 and 41. I don't know what they were doing. They got into it there, and then took Cindric out in the process. That screwed him out. And that was like right near the end, I believe, too, for that one. So
yeah, that one. Now I was awake for that one because it says here it was on lap 258, and I guess Ty Dillon had got loose and hit Custer and pushed Custer into Cindric and spun Cindric out. So
one of those.
And then I like Cindric's radio chatter was like, "What did I do to deserve that?" And then they explained to him what happened, and he was like, "Oh, whatever."
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ty didn't need to be taken at 3 wide either, though, because he's the one who dove way down to do that.
I think what he did, he kind of did what a lot of others were doing, was just slapping the paint with that left front, and it just broke the car a little loose.
Yeah.
And then when he corrected, Cole Custer was right there.
Right. It's just wrong place, wrong time, honestly.
But I put Cole Custer on almost all my DraftKings. I did like 5 different ones Sunday. But man, he was such a value. He was only like 6,100 points, and he was starting like 13th. I'm like, man, that's a good value.
Yeah. Well, Roger, you hit it right. You must have some secret camera on my notes because I got Kyle Busch coming up next. He was black flagged for tape. It's a lot of controversy there. I mean, Roger
Well,
hit
I
on it.
mean, it is what it is. He broke the rule. Well, he didn't break the rule. The pit crew broke the rule, whether it was an accident or not. And I think NASCAR, they took so long because they were trying to review all the pit stops to see when that tape was put on, whether it was debris or tape. So I see why it could have taken, I don't know about 100 laps, but I can see why it take a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But they were saying something about you can put it's tape over on the sides, correct?
The brake ducts, yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I was like, well, they can't put before they said that, they said they can't put tape there. I'm like, well, what's tape in the arsenal even for then? Throw it out the window. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's to help the heating and cooling, to control the temperatures of the brakes.
right, right. But yeah, they got nailed. I think I wouldn't have fooled with Mr. Bush again after the race. That's consecutively the continue. I mean, he came
I
back
think
though.
I think Haley needs to hire him to come down to Millbridge.
Right. Um, but where he did wind up coming back though, right? He had a decent finish. I mean, it wasn't the
Ninth.
worst.
Ninth, yeah.
Yeah, and he was running sixth when that happened.
Yeah, yeah. But we got to talk about what I consider another kind of a wild ending. You know, we were all talking before we came on the air, and like Josh said 2 weeks ago, you know, with us picking these picks, we were just having fun, but still we was competitive about it. Now we've got this incentive we're going for, and I'm sitting here looking at the stats. I'm like, well, here's Hamlin, where's Truex, where's Kyle Busch at? And I'm like, oh man, Hamlin's running back. And then when they done the pit stops, you know, pit stops was really where strategy was during the whole race. And I seen Byron and Truex stay, you know, they stayed out longer and they had gotten fresher tires in the back. Well, everybody was coming up. I'm like, God, I was sweating bullets. I was biting my nails. I was like, there's no way he's catching him. Then I was like, I was seeing the ticker go down. I was like, daggone, Hamlin's going to catch him. And then I felt like if we got a caution, they would maybe go in and take tires if it was early enough. But I still feel like Hamlin was going to get it. Then I was like, holy crap, here we go. So I was really, really impressed seeing Hamlin win that race. And I know I'm saying that.
I feel like I lost 3 times. Truex lost, Hamlin won, and Harvick finished second. I lost 3 times.
Yeah. I can't believe it. And you guys may see it. I had to have the boy here tonight, even though I'm a Larson fan. I got my Denny Hamlin out tonight. I'm a Hamlin fan for 1 week anyways. But yeah, so that was my third. You said you lost 3 times. Well, hey, I've won 3. So whatever.
Did you guys during that second stage, I didn't know if you had this in your notes, but something that was kind of a big item of the race was tire wear, the drop off, how severe it was. And then that second stage, the drivers that were on the 1-stop and 2-stop strategy, and what you thought about that. Because Christopher Bell had the 1-stop strategy, and I thought he played it out perfectly. What did he end up like, second or third in that stage? Second. And, even though he was on a little bit older tires at the end, he seemed to have a really good car for those long runs.
Yeah, I think the tire fall off was fast, but it evened out pretty quickly.
Yes, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So yeah, I think it was for about 20, 30 laps. There was a big difference, and then the rest of the run they were basically equal.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I was thinking.
Sure.
That they're pretty and they lasted long.
Because there were no they did have a little bit of cording issues on one of the cars, I think, but it wasn't.
I think it was Chase Elliott. I think.
I think it was Chase.
That was the only time I saw anything mentioned about tires. Like they weren't even saying, "Oh man, they're going really long on these tires," or "Watch out for blowouts." So,
Yeah.
And even in Austin Cindric's spin, I don't think any of his tires blew out. I think they're
No.
starting to get the better construction on these tires and getting them figured out.
yeah.
Yeah, Roger, you got to admit NASCAR is starting to try over there. He'll chime in here in a minute. But he says that Harvick, he's picking Harvick again. That win is coming. That's what he's saying. I know Josh is pulling for Harvick for sure. I think
I'm
if
not.
we
I'm
would have
not
had
picking
maybe,
them though.
I think if we would have had 5 more laps, what do you think? Would the outcome have been different, or was Hamlin gone?
I think 2 more laps. I think Harvick would have went in really deep. I think Harvick would have wrecked them to get the win.
Well, I think it would have depended on how much lap traffic they came across. That was something that I noticed with both races is lap traffic, depending on where you caught it, really played a role into where your position was, either coming off a corner or, somebody that was beside you. If you were in the high groove, then the lap traffic shuffled up high. Now you're stuck behind them. So,
And it was a little different. The Cup race, it was like backwards. They had to worry about the lap traffic unlapping themselves
yes.
because they were faster,
Yeah.
which was pretty different situation because a lot of those guys running up front aren't used to moving over for people.
Sure.
They're not used to getting out of the way.
Well, you had a little bit of a, I was, what you were talking about that moving over. I was really shocked that Amarola moved over like he did. I thought he would have
I know.
slowed.
I thought he'd
Hamlin.
hold him up a little bit, but I was also shocked on the other way around too. I thought Kyle Busch would hold up.
Harvick.
Yeah, Harvick.
I mean, I guess.
Or it was
that,
it was like 10 laps ago. It was Kyle Busch was. It was before Truex even passed. What's his face? Was it Byron or I can't remember. Who
yeah,
was it? Byron? Yeah.
I think so.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Kyle Busch would have held him up a little bit, but no, he just kept going.
Yeah. Well, we continued one streak, but one ended. We had our 7th different winner. Jeez, this did this happen before? Because I've been thinking it
Yeah,
don't seem like.
last year.
I thought so last year.
Yeah,
And
I think they went
I feel
8 or 9 different winners last year.
we may have touched on this last week, but you guys see it to a point to where winning you're in is not going to be a deal because you're
I
not
think
going to
it'll.
win yourself in.
I think that'll be the first time it happens. It's going to be this year.
And then watch
I can see it
NASCAR will come
happening.
up with something else. You think NASCAR will move that situation and start contemplating, well, we need to do something different here?
What, like 20?
Well, they've been NASCAR's been changing. I call it the TV era from 2001 to present. From 2001 to present, when they did the TV contracts, it seems like NASCAR constantly upgrades and makes changes to the points when somebody upsets the apple cart.
Yeah. So
Like when Kenseth won the title, they change it to the chase, and then Gordon misses the first what was it 05 that Gordon missed the chase, and then they start making it to where if you win a race, then you get in. So.
Yes.
And then the whole controversy, which I wasn't mad about because I'm a Gordon fan, with the Michael Waltrip thing, and they include Gordon in. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And he got brought
Spingate.
Yeah.
But we broke the other streak though. The what was it? 12 consecutive races where we had 30 years and younger, and Hamlin broke that, so that stands as 12. So.
Thanks, Roger. That's signed by the man himself and Sam Bass.
Yeah, that's a nice print. That's that one that Dale gave you, right?
Yeah,
Dale Hess. Yep.
I sent him a picture. I sent him a picture on Facebook about a month ago of it hanging up because I never showed him it hanging up.
Because you got it rolled up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. Yeah, he didn't send it in a frame, I didn't think. Metal Mike wants to know about the announcers this week. I mean, they were all repeats. I thought they done good. I noticed Chad was down there on Saturday at the Xfinity, like inspecting around. I figured he was gathering notes for Sunday so he could talk about some stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But overall, it's pretty good. They didn't say anything about Martinsville. Y'all didn't hear anything, did you?
Mm-mm.
About
Mm-mm.
But I did like the balance of driver and crew chief versus driver.
Yeah. My son loves Suarez on there. He says, "Why does he talk like that?" I'm like, "Well, he is Hispanic." He's like, "What? He's in this. What's that? What's this? Blah blah blah." You tell him something, he has to ask the same thing, why and everything. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And really quick, if y'all got a second, he wanted me to show y'all something he drew. I just literally thought about it. So hold on. Y'all can talk or whatever while I grab it.
Lost it. So Josh, are you going to be in Martinsville next week?
No.
Okay. Or it's Bristol, isn't it?
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
going
going
to
to Bristol.
Okay.
So I got the Larson Funko, and Grayson got him one in the mail today. I don't know if you guys. He drew Larson Funko. He's pretty good, a little artist, ain't he?
That's better than I can do.
So he was. I didn't see him doing it, but my wife was telling me how he traced the outline of Larson, and then he drew the thing. So that's pretty cool. And then,
you ought to get that signed. Take that with you and get it signed.
Yeah, he's already
Or
talking
give
about
it to him or something. I don't know.
My son.
I'm all about giving those guys gifts. They like that stuff.
Oh man. Oh my god.
Especially if you're at Millbridge. I mean, the odds of them taking it home are slim to none. But the odds of them just leaving it in the trailer where where their cart is pretty good.
Yeah, I like the chat there, Roger. Definitely go Heels. Hopefully they can pull it off over Kansas tonight. We're diehard Tar Heel fans for sure. It's amazing how they have done that with that new coach. I mean, it's his first year, and they're about to pull something off hopefully tonight. So go Heels for sure. How about the update on the points in the Cup Series there? Anything really change?
Nothing's really changed. Everybody's pretty much where you kind of expect them to be. The regular points, Blaney and Chase Elliott would be tied for the lead, but they would be respectively eighth and tied for eighth in the playoff seedings if the playoffs started now. So everybody would be that's in the top 16. Trying to look at both lists here, and it's just
I did
Austin Dillon.
Screenshotted it.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin Dillon would be the odd man out right now because he is 16th in points, but because Hamlin has a win and is outside of the top 16, that would put Hamlin in the playoffs. So once again, Austin Dillon is in that odd position right now, like he was last year.
Where I'm a Larson fan, he gained 5 spots this week. He was 16th, and then he shows +5. Your guy gained 6 this week, Josh. He's in 8th, so it's pretty.
He needs to just get a win, though, man. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. Quit pointing your way in, so to speak, for sure. Well, I mean, we're kind of other. I forgot to mention this. We'll go off topic before we do our picks. I know being Octane. I mean, I'm not really diehard on it as much, but I did watch WrestleMania. Did you get to watch the second day of it there, Octane?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
What a bummer. All leading up to the greatest WrestleMania match ever. It's bull crap. That was bull.
Well, it turns out from what I've seen, some reports that I just seen online that Reigns may have been injured in that match, so they went home early with it.
Yeah, with his shoulder when he put him in the. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
There was a legit that he may have. Well, he may have legitimately tore a muscle because they showed a couple pictures where you could see it looked like he maybe had a torn or a strained muscle in like his bicep or his tricep. And after that, because if you watch after the match when he was lifting both belts, he could barely lift one up.
Oh my god, I cannot stop yawning, man. Jeez.
So really quick too, before we move forward, I think what stole the night for me, I love seeing, of course, Vince, he's as old as the hills now, but that was awesome seeing Stone Cold come out there and stun him. And I was like, please just shut this guy up already. My mom, she's like, that has got to be the ugliest guy I've ever seen in my life. Talking about Vince. She hates the way he
Vince.
walks and just carries himself. It's so stupid. But yeah,
And the man's he's almost 80 years old.
Yeah. How about the way he took the stunner though? He fell down, before he even got it put on him. I was like, wow. That was pretty hilarious, honestly. But yeah, overall it was pretty decent. I mean, I hadn't watched wrestling in a while, so I figured I'd watch that one and see what would happen. But I enjoyed it. So Grayson had a blast watching it as always. I guess it's pick time. I mean, we may get done here tonight. I'm sure Josh don't mind it. He's gonna go to bed on us when we get done.
No, I'm still working
So,
2 jobs.
Let's see. Looks like Josh had the worst end of the deal 2 weeks ago at Coda. Let's see, where was he at? Kaz Growling had finished 14th, so he's going to get the pick first tonight for the trucks. I'll go second in trucks and then Octane. So Martinsville trucks. Who do you got, Josh?
Zane Smith.
Any particular reason? Just, I mean,
well, he won. Yeah, he won in last year. And I was looking at the stats on that race, and Todd Gilliland in the 38 actually led the most laps with 133, and Zane Smith won that race. So technically, Zane Smith should probably have the best truck, and he's a winner there.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. I had him on my list if it didn't get chosen, which I figured he was going to be one of the first ones to go. But man, I'm now.
You can mark my words. What are they? 4 or 5 weeks in on the trucks?
Yeah, this will be 5, I believe.
Zane Smith will win the championship this year.
He's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, for sure.
He's came in second the last 2 years.
Oh yeah. He's always been that under the radar person. I mean, and then he shows up. So I got 2 names right here because I try to write just 3. What I want to pick. I'm having a hard time really choosing, but man, I'm going to go with my gut feeling. Matt Crafton has not what we say ran. We haven't heard a lot of Matt Crafton talk. Those guys like him and Johnny Sauter, they've all been getting up there in age. But man, Crafton's always been good at Martinsville, and I just think that he's going to finally get that Thor Sport truck back in victory lane. So I'm going Crafton.
Thank God. Finally a chance for us to make up some points.
I mean, who knows? We'll see.
Well, I've got the truck Martinsville entry list pulled up here, and I've kind of been going through it and looking, at who's on the list and what you guys picked.
Roger took my.
I'm going to take Kyle Busch. He's entered, so I think Kyle Busch Truck Series. Yeah.
I'm over here.
Octane,
yeah, there he is, 51.
That's pretty Bush League move there, Octane. That's Bush League.
You guys have the entry list too, so
I did really skip over Kyle Busch though. I mean, I didn't see that on there.
Kyle Busch Truck Series, he's going to be P1, 2, 3. He's going to be somewhere in that range. So
smart move. I'll give you the smart credit on that one because I had looked at.
Hopefully, so used to this cup car now that's like a alien spaceship that he's going to be driving.
I hope I get to pick trucks last again next week. So
Metal Mike says any bets if Deegan doesn't end up in the bottom 5 again, needs to take some time off. I don't know. And Roger actually had my other pick. I was contemplating between Rhodes and Crafton. So I will write a viewer. I mean, anybody. This is the deal. That'd be crazy if Roger chiming in the entire time after we reset that, and Roger just basically gets him a free hobby box. So now would be a time that you guys can start picking something. But like I said, I'm going to withdraw my name when we do that, just because I don't want to. I'll let them have some fun. I mean, I'll pick, but I don't want,
You can put me in there because I ain't gonna win that first one. I'm joking.
All right, Roger. And we're actually been talking. I mean, I know I'm on board. Octane's on board. I'm sure Josh would do something. Just putting up like something as a giveaway at the end. I mean, that would be just for you guys hanging out with us all season. I mean, I think that's worthy of it. So
They
we'll talk
should
more
give
about
us
that.
something.
Give us something. What? Give us a hard time, I guess, is what they'll say next. Well, Mr. Josh kept it going there. He had another bad little deal. Gragson, man, touching bases back. Gragson looked like he was strong in that race, and then out of nowhere falls out, and he winds up 21st. I was really devastated with that because
His brakes went bad.
Yeah, brakes.
Yeah, he left a brake pad on the ground, I think, there on the front stretch on fire.
Yep. But your pick was 21st, so you'll go first. Octane actually took that one. And what was really interesting there, Allgaier was ahead of Hemrick, and then he started falling back, and I'm like, oh boy, there goes my spot. And then daggone, Hemrick walked away with 6, and then Allgaier finished 14th. So Josh will pick first. I'll do the same thing, and then Octane. It's the same routine. Who do you got for Xfinity there, Josh?
Noah. I have to. I mean,
winners.
dude, I don't know. I looked at the last couple of years, and he's like in the top 5 every freaking race.
Yeah, he called his shot there. He called his shot there in November too. He said, "I'm winning the race. I'm going to the Final 4."
Right. Well, I had a couple names written down, obviously, here in case one gets picked. But daggone, it's like me and Riggs is on track for something. He picked Josh Berry, and that's actually my pick. So I've seen Josh Berry dominate the late models like crazy there. Obviously, he's won Martinsville. And I just have a feeling that Josh Berry comes back and he wins again. So I'm picking Josh Berry. All right, Octane.
Well, it's going to be funny. This is going to be like the Cup race where we all took JGR cars. Well, this week we're going to take Junior Motorsports cars, and I'm going to take Sam Mayer. I think he's due for a win. I think he's really, really been improving. Had a career best 3rd this past weekend at Richmond. He's a short track guy. Martinsville's short track. I could see it happening there.
I'm pretty sure this is the second time this year we all took a JRM car on the same. I'm pretty sure. I think a couple weeks ago we all picked Junior Motorsports.
Well, when Talladega comes around, we'll all take Colleague cars. So
Let's see. I'm looking. No, that one was Gragson and Hemrick. I don't see it, but I don't know. Well, there you took Gragson at Vegas, and then Octane took Berry. I don't see it right offhand, not looking back. But I mean, basically 2 out of 3. We've done that several times. We've done 2 out of 3. Josh Berry owns Martinsville. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, he's definitely, especially in the late models, he dominated there. We've seen him dominate a lot. All right, so it kind of switches up here. Obviously, I took home the winner there with Hamlin, so I'll go last. And then, let's see, Octane goes first. His pick was Kyle Busch, and he wound up 9th, and then Truex was 4th, so Josh will go 2nd. So, Octane, you got first dibs on the Cup boys.
Okay, I'm kind of scrolling over the entry list here right quickly one last time, and there's not really any names that are popping out. It's been a pretty even across the board season so far, but I think we get our first repeat winner with Alex Bowman.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting how all 3 winners just got picked first pick from last fall. That's very interesting. Josh took Zane and then Gregson and then Bowman. It's very, very interesting. All right, Josh, who do you got?
I feel like whoever I pick, you're picking my second pick. So,
Well, I've got 4 names written down, so
well,
one of them just got took.
I'm gonna take Truex again.
That was my second name.
I think you're gonna take Hamlin again.
Actually, no.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
See, I was between Hamlin and Truex. So
I'm actually gonna take William Byron. He was top of my list. It was my first name that popped out at me. He's ran good at Martinsville, and I don't know. This actually, back to what you said.
I got a chance this week.
You got a chance. I mean, then again,
talking all this junk, and now I'm gonna get my butt kicked.
No, Roger. Greg Biffle is not running Martinsville. The entry lists are out, though, Raj. I would definitely go look at all of them so you can start getting your stuff together.
Well, we know he won't bring everything.
He better.
And don't forget, Junior's going to be in the Xfinity race.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten, but I don't know.
I just wanted Roger to take something so he could fall again.
Oh yeah. Well, the chances of us getting Junior outside the track is going to be slim to none. If Junior, I guess I'm giving it away. If Junior flies in, that's the only chance you're going to get at him, unless you're inside. But for the usual people at Martinsville, they kind of know the deal there. That's the way to get Junior is when he flies in. So, yeah, guys, we'll be out at Martinsville. Not all these guys, but I will be. Me and Roger. I know Tim Mosey's supposed to be coming down, so we'll see him again. We'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If everything works out, it may rain out Thursday, but we'll be back Friday and Saturday. And then we'll be in Bristol that following week. So we got a lot coming here on my channel. I'm sure Josh will probably be posting something maybe on his channel with him going to Bristol, some of the footage or something. So try and get some autographs. Hopefully we do good. Tim actually done pretty decent. If you guys haven't looked at his stuff, I don't know if he's put anything out. He went to Richmond this past weekend, so that was pretty good. So
hi, Daddy.
I think it's go time though. I got 8:03, and I hear Cole.
Yep.
And I know it's gonna be go time. So.
And he's still butt naked.
Jeez, too much info. But that wraps up another episode. We're here on episode 7. Next week, we'll be back talking Martinsville. I may have to recap a lot because where I'll be at the track, I'll have to rewatch some highlights. And I mentioned my but hopefully some good racing. And we'll be back next Monday recapping Martinsville. So I'm Danny and Grace. And we're here
Card Connection.
High Octane Cards.
I thought you were doing your thing.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Y'all done it. That's good. We're getting there. And hope you guys had a good night. We did. And we'll see you guys next Monday. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Have a good one.